Hello, and welcome to Canada Reads American Style. This is Shauna.
And I'm Rebecca. And as many of you remember, over the past year in 2019, we read all the books on the long list. And Sean and I both agreed that our favorite book was The Boy on the Beach by Tima Kurdi. And in fact, we think it should have been on the short list, and we think it should have won the competition, correct?
Completely. And with that, we want to invite you to enjoy our special author interview with the author of Boy on the Beach, Tima Kurdi.
Woohoo!
From her home in Vancouver.
Tima, with the incredible experience that your family went through, how did you come to write the book?
Well, to be honest, I'm not a writer. I never thought in my life I would ever write a book. But as you know, when the tragedy happened with my family, and all of a sudden I woke up that day, September the 2nd, 2015, and my whole life had changed. And then, being with media globally, I just felt, I need to talk about the story of that boy on the beach. But the thing is, it was overwhelmed. I was just speaking from my heart, and there was lots of misinformation about my family, about actually the refugee themselves, where when they have to leave their home. And to me, I want to tell the world we are people like everybody else. So from all this lots of misinformation, and the world, they don't know anything about the people, about those refugees. So one day after the tragedy, a few weeks later, I was actually in Kurdistan, Arbil, with my brother Abdullah, the father of the boy on the beach, Alan. And we were talking, and he was very, very sad. The first thing he came to his mind, he said, why all the media around the world are calling my son a different name and a different age, and even his brother, and lots of other detail. And he looked at me and he said, the only thing we can correct this, and how about we write the book and tell the truth about not just the Kurdi family or the boy on the beach, but also about all those refugees. So for me, coming back in an airplane, I start writing. I didn't know where it's gonna take me. So, sometimes, you don't have to be a writer to actually tell your story. And somehow, I get an agent here in Canada. Somebody, introduced me to her. I said to her, I'm really looking for a publisher, and I want to tell the story of the boy on the beach. And this is how it started. It wasn't easy process, to be honest. The only thing in my heart, it was one thing I'm thinking of, that I just want to follow my heart and just speak. The way I did it in the media, the way I brought awareness to the refugee and the war, the situation, what people go through. I was every day, I have a ghostwriter, of course, because English is not my first language, through my agent, of course. It took me really 6 months to do all this, to start. And it wasn't easy. And then every single day, for almost 10 hours, I just speak and write. And almost I can say I wrote this book with my tears. I just follow my heart and just speak and speak and speak. And then, I was very, very lucky to have a great publisher, whereas they value the people. They want to share the story, important story, to the world. And they were so patient with me. It wasn't an easy process. It took me a year and a half to finish. Lots of a challenge. And my editor at the end, from Simon Schuster, Canada, was really great and shaped the whole story and put it. It's almost like having a puzzle, and you want to put every puzzle where it belongs. And this is how we shape the chapter. And I'm glad I share the story to bring awareness. It's not about, again, only the boy on the beach or the Kurdi family. It's about the people. Yeah. And it's about awareness. It's about hope. And I'm sure there is lots of people out there. They would like to share their story. And I always, from my experience, when I go and speak at the event across the world, I always encourage people that speak up and use your voice to bring awareness and never give up.
One of the things that kept me reading along was that I really wanted to know how Abdullah was doing after the tragic events. Can you talk a little bit about how your family members are doing? Because as we know, some of them were in different countries.
Well, I have, my sister and my brothers. First, my brother, the oldest one, Muhammad, who come to Canada with his family. They're doing okay. The parents always struggle when they arrive in a different country, different culture, different language. I know that from my own experience. It takes time. But the kids, they have 5 kids, and, the teenager, they adopt very well. They all speak English. They go into school and working part-time. So life for them is the kids. It's, it's okay. It's good, because I believe not just my family, again, they're, all those people who come to Canada as a refugee, they are our future, especially those kids. It's so beautiful to see them. My other sister, I have Maha, still in Turkey. Her husband who got the stroke. It's very challenging to my sister, and I'm really feeling kind of hopeless that they're home in Kobani, in Syria, where is the Kurd live, and the situation is not getting better. They really want to go home, but there is no home to go to. And her husband really emotionally, he gave up to heal himself. If you have a stroke, you need to go to a physiotherapist and to tell your brain that I want to feel good. But emotionally, destroying his big house back in Kobani didn't give him any hope, and he feel like, I gonna give up, and this is who I am. I am paralyzed half, and I'm not moving on. So it's very struggle to my own sister. And financially, they're not doing well. I still helping them. And but almost, they left Kobani in 2014. Until now, they were hoping to go back, but I don't think they will go back. But the thing is, now my sister, start to talk to me about what other option it has for us. We can't continue like this in Turkey. Sometimes they think about maybe to go somewhere. Yeah. She asked me even if I can bring her to Canada, but it's not that easy. So yeah, their future, it's unknown, and they just live their life. My other sister, Shireen, in 2018, she gave up the struggle in Turkey because she has her two kids actually not going to school and forced to be working. So for me, always stuck in my head that when she said to me when she was crying, and I was there in Turkey, she said to me, "What will you do when your life are sitting in between two fires? No matter what direction you take, you're gonna burn from that fire. Staying in Turkey and watch your kids losing their future and you get burned, or going back to Damascus, whereas her husband doesn't have job, the situation it's safe, but is not financially they cannot live, and also you're gonna suffer and burn that way." She chose to go back to Damascus. At least now, her younger son, going to school. I visit them already. I was so happy to see him like this. He loved music and sing. He loved to play drum. So look at him. Going to school is the best thing to invest in any kid. My other sister, Hivron, I mentioned it in the book. She make it to Germany. Her 5 kids, again, the older one, they were struggling before to know how when in any country, some kids, they will tell them why you are coming to my country, go back to your country. Mm-hmm. And it was really, really challenged, especially for the teenager one. But now actually, they're learning the language, they know how to adopt, and they're going to school, and life goes on, and they are happy in Germany now. And my brother Abdullah, he's still in Kurdistan, Arbil, and he got married. I mentioned it, mm-hmm. And they're expecting the baby, and that's the only hope actually, because for us, when we want him to remarry, that will ease his pain and have his own family, new family, and kids. Because for him, when I used to go and visit and see him, that all what he's worried about, those refugee innocent children are losing their future, and it's not enough help from the world or people, and he feel like he wanna have his whole life and do whatever he can to help those children, the refugee children. So, for him, it's all about hope and peace, and we want people to live, in a safer place, in good situation. His pain is still, he's going through the pain emotionally. Both of us, we had PTSD, so emotionally it's not easy. But for me, the healing, it's right in my book. It gives me lots of healing. Go in an event and share the story of the boy on the beach to different audience, different people around the world. That give me healing. And, because I see I'm spreading awareness, educating people. But for Abdullah, it's more like he feel like he's in a prison in his own home. And emotionally, he's paralyzed.
Tima, thank you for sharing that update about your family. It's a reminder to us that these are people's personal stories, and in the way the world is today, we need more tolerance and compassion for the things that refugees experience. It really helps to humanize the whole situation, so thank you so much for sharing that. You talk about how important awareness is to the entire refugee situation, and you started the Kurdi Foundation. What are your goals with the foundation? What are you doing with that? Since this is an amazing part of the whole story as well.
The Kurdi Foundation, everything is a new experience in my life. I don't know how to run the foundation. I don't know anything about it. So I remember in 2016, a year after the tragedy, I went back to visit my brother in Kurdistan. And, seeing my brother struggling and being in his own bedroom, surrounded by what left from his family, from toys to, shoes and clothes. And he just sit in that bed and smell them. And it's so painful. There is no word I can describe to you how he was in pain. I just come up with the idea and I asked him, how can I make you a little bit of comfortable to take you out the house today? What will you do? How can I help you? And he said, well, if you want, the only thing I'm thinking, can we go visit a refugee camp and help the children? But I know how we can do this. And to be honest, I said to him, you know what? I have $500 I can donate and give it to you to buy something to those kids. What would you buy? And again, he said, how about diapers? And I said, why diapers? He said, there is lots of babies on those camps. I don't think they have diaper. And that reminds me when, when he mentioned that, when his family flee Kobani and they went to Turkey, and he was doing his best to bring to work and buy stuff for his own children. He said to me, I was barely making enough money and I couldn't afford to buy diapers for Alan. And I remember he struggled a lot, and he always had rush because we use a cloth instead of diaper. And if you give me this $500 and buy diaper, that will make me feel happy that those baby at the refugee camp, they don't suffer the way Alan did. So that's what we did. And after we delivered the diapers and everything, and he was happy, in the way back, and he said to me, why can't we start a foundation in the name of my kids? And that way, I feel happy that my son, the way he brought attention to the world, his name will never be forgotten. And again, I said to him, I don't know how to run the foundation, but yes, let's do that. And this is how we start. And I know, 3-4 years later today, our foundation is not doing the way it's supposed to be doing, because I don't really put lots of time and do lots of fundraising or anything. It's just a website there. And people, if they know about it, they just donate through the Kurdi Foundation. And it's not doing not a lot of money, but honestly, an average $5,000 a year, I take it with my hand and I make a big difference in the life of those innocent children in the refugee camp. It's so beautiful, Sometimes I go twice a year, depend how much money we have. I go twice a year. And the past 2 years, we are focusing on buying school uniform to elementary school at the camp. And we cover 2 schools already. And it's a big difference. And hopefully soon, again, I'm going to go. And especially now with, the refugee coming up again new from Kobani. And hopefully we'll go and help in anything we can.
We will link to the foundation on our podcast, and we hope that perhaps some of our listeners will feel compelled to assist in some small way, especially when you think about the impact of the $500 for diapers and how it really affected people in a positive way.
Oh, yes. Yeah. When I when you do it, it's 100% of money, because I'm doing it from my heart. Yeah. Me and my brother, we go shopping, and then we try to get the best price, and we just buy the stuff and put it in a van or a truck and deliver it to the camp. It's a huge difference. That $500 with the diaper, it was a big truck full of diapers. If I show you the picture, it will be amazing. $500, a big difference, make a big difference. I remember one time, $1,000 we did also outside the refugee camp, because also there is a district in Kurdistan with 200 family live in inhumane condition, and they don't have any help from anybody. Basically, they are struggling to work and bring food to the family or whatever they need. Even medication, even if the children get sick, is so expensive that they can't even afford to go and pay the doctor visit plus medication. So I remember also it was almost springtime, and it was very cold, and I saw even Abdullah, he mentioned it to me, and he said, look at those kids playing outside, and it's so cold, they don't even have a winter clothes on. And again, with $1,000, we give 500 kids, like a tracksuit or a pajama, you call it, or something, 400 or 500 kids would keep them warm. It's, the money, small amount, it make a huge difference in the life of those children. And so, 5 years later, from the war in Syria and the refugee around the world, people have no idea how those people live. It's just break your heart. I always tell people, if you can, to actually go and visit the camp, to experience and see it in your own eyes, it will change your life forever. Because, we live, in North America or outside of the Middle East, we take everything for granted. Not until we see it in our eyes, not until we try to live, even think to live the life of the refugee, that will never change us. So it's all about awareness. It's all about, we all have the power to do something in this world. We all have. Like, who am I? I was just a hairdresser, living my life like everybody else. We all always, support people in need. We all have that, but not the same when I start, seeing it in my eyes. Go to the refugee camp, talk to them personally, hear their story, and become their voice. Yeah. So that's very, very important.
Well, as you may know, Shauna and I read the entire 2019 long list, and we both felt that The Boy on the Beach should have been on the short list, and it should have won the competition. So do you have any plans to write another book, and can you talk about it if you are?
In my mind, I never stop writing, even after I finish the book. In my mind, yes, there will be another book. Now, when and what is it? I have no idea. Again, it's a puzzle. Mostly what I write right now about my personal experience, focusing on what happening about, the people, the refugee in general. It's all about awareness, but it's also from my personal experience. In my mind, again, I don't know when my next book will come out, but hopefully very soon, next year. I don't know. I can't tell. I can't say anything. So I told my publisher, the minute they published The Boy on the Beach, they said to me, we are looking forward for your next one. So yeah, so I don't know where it's gonna take me. I never stop writing. again, you put in all the thought together, and hopefully it will be another book, but it's all about people.
Well, I promise you that Shauna and I will definitely look forward to reading your book when it comes out. Tima, we just want to thank you so much. When we read the book, we were affected by it. And when we reached out to you and you agreed to speak with us, we were just so appreciative.
No, my pleasure. Thank you so much for, reaching out and for this beautiful interview. And I hope people who read my story to just understand it's all about people, about awareness. We all people, no matter where we come from, no matter what kind of religion we practice, what kind of language we speak, we are people, and it's all about family and love. And there is always hope.
Thank you for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.
We want to thank Tima Kurdi today, who is speaking to us from her home in Vancouver.
And to our listeners, if you'd like us to continue providing you with great content like this, please rate, review, like, share, comment, and tell all your friends about Canada Reads American Style.